I found out my wife had another husband. While we were sitting together at dinner. Welcome back. If you love crazy Reddit stories with shocking twists, family drama, and endings you never see coming, you're in the right place. Subscribe if you're new, and let's get into today's story. For context. My wife and I had been married for almost 5 years. No major fights. No trust issues. Nothing that would have made me suspicious. One Friday night, we went to dinner with some friends. Everything was normal. Until the waiter walked over. He looked at my wife. Then smiled and said, "It's nice seeing you again. Is your husband joining you later?" The entire table went silent. My wife looked completely confused. She said, "I am here with my husband." The waiter immediately turned pale. He started apologizing. He kept saying, "I'm so sorry. I must have mixed up the tables." But the damage was already done. The whole drive home was silent. I couldn't stop thinking about it. A week later. My curiosity got the better of me. I went back to the restaurant alone. The same waiter was working. He recognized me instantly. Before I could even ask. He apologized again. Then he showed me the security footage. A woman had been coming in every Friday for months. Same hair. Same height. Same smile. She looked almost identical to my wife. But it wasn't her. It was her older sister. The one I'd never met. My wife had cut contact with her years ago after a huge family fight. The restaurant staff had confused them the entire time. I asked my wife why she'd never mentioned having a sister. She got quiet. Then she said, "Because every time someone meets her, they end up asking why we're nothing alike." A month later. I finally met her. Within 5 minutes. I understood. She spent the entire dinner pretending to be my wife. Just to embarrass her. Even the waiter looked relieved when he realized he wasn't actually crazy. That was the day I learned. Sometimes the biggest family drama isn't about strangers. It's about the people you're related to. My entire family stopped talking to me. Because of something my cousin did. My cousin and I have the same first name. We're also only 3 months apart. So growing up. Everyone mixed us up. Usually it was harmless. Until one Saturday morning. I woke up to 47 missed calls. Texts from my mom. My aunt. My grandma. Even people I hadn't spoken to in years. Every message said the same thing. "How could you do this?" I had absolutely no idea what they were talking about. I called my mom. She answered. Screaming. She said, "I can't believe you'd steal from Grandma." I laughed. I genuinely thought she was joking. She wasn't. Apparently. Someone had emptied Grandma's savings account. The bank employee accidentally read out my name over the phone. The family immediately assumed it was me. Nobody asked. Nobody checked. Everyone just believed it. By dinner. I was basically the family villain. Then Grandma called. She said, "Come to my house." When I got there, the entire family was waiting. So was the bank manager. He walked in. Looked around. And immediately said, "I owe someone here a huge apology." Turns out. The account belonged to my cousin. The one with the exact same name. He'd been secretly moving money for months to pay off gambling debts. The bank had mixed up our profiles. The room went completely silent. My cousin couldn't even look at me. My aunt started crying. My mom apologized. Grandma walked over. Hugged me. Then looked at everyone else and said, "You were all ready to believe the worst about him. And none of you asked him a single question." That hit everyone harder than the money ever did. My cousin eventually paid Grandma back. But the weirdest part. After that day. My family stopped asking. "Did you do it?" Now they always ask. "Which one of you are we talking about?" Let's start with another story. My aunt secretly hated my mom for 18 years. And the reason came out during my cousin's wedding. Everything was perfect. The ceremony was beautiful. The speeches were emotional. Then my uncle stood up for a toast. He smiled and said, "I just want to thank my wife for forgiving me for the biggest mistake of my life." The room went silent. My aunt's face instantly changed. Someone at our table whispered. What mistake? Before my uncle could continue, my aunt grabbed the microphone. She laughed and said, since we're sharing old stories, let's share all of them. Nobody knew where this was going. Then she turned to my mom. You remember senior prom? My mom looked confused. My aunt didn't. She said, you knew I liked him. The entire room froze. Turns out, 18 years earlier, both sisters had liked the same guy. My aunt believed my mom had stolen him from her. She'd held on to that resentment ever since. Family vacations. Birthdays. Christmas. Every awkward moment suddenly made sense. My mom just sat there, completely speechless. Then she quietly said, I never even knew you liked him. My aunt laughed. I never told you. The room got even quieter. My uncle looked like he wanted to disappear. Then Grandma stood up. She looked at my aunt and said, so, you've been mad for 18 years. Over a conversation you never had? Nobody moved. Then Grandma turned to my uncle. And you? You married the wrong sister anyway. The entire room burst into laughter. Even my aunt started laughing. Later that night, my aunt admitted she'd spent almost 2 decades creating a rivalry that only existed in her own head. She hugged my mom for the first time in years. Grandma still tells everyone. The wedding was nice. But the family meeting afterward was unforgettable.
And that's it for today's stories. Honestly, some of these are going to stay in my head way longer than they should. Let me know in the comments which story creeped you out the most and what you would have done in that situation. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and come back for more crazy stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.